Hello, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel again. I hope you all are doing well. And this is the third lecture of our series IS Prelims 2020 GS Paper 1 MCQs. I would love to see your comments, and I'm very hopeful that you like my videos. So let's start with the question number 11. In this lecture, we'll discuss question 11 to 15, which were asked in IS Prelims DS Paper 1 2020. So let's start with the question number 11. So question number 11 is a parliamentary system of government is one in which, here they ask about parliamentary system of government. Four options are given. First is all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. Second option is the government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Yes. Third is the government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. And option D is the government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before completion of fixed tenure. If you see the parliamentary system of government, in this the executives are responsible to the legislature. So according to me, option B is the right answer, because if you see the government is responsible to the parliament can be removed by it. As per option B, yes, executives are responsible to the legislature and can be removed by it through no confidence motion. So option B is the right answer here. And for option A, if you see in parliamentary system, there is no requirement of all party representation, so we can eliminate first option. If you see C and D, C option is for the you can say direct democracies. So in India there is no direct democracy. Option D is also not applicable, so option B is the right answer. Look at the question number 12. Which part of the Constitution of India declares the ideals of welfare state? Guys, this is one of the easiest question they have asked in this time prelims. So four options are given. A option is directive principle of state policy, B is fundamental rights, C is preamble, and D is seventh schedule. Guys, this option A is the right answer here, because you might have read about directive principle of state policy, in which there is a concept of welfare state by means of providing socio-economic development programs. So option A is the right answer. Now the question number 13. Consider the following statements. Two statements are given and we have to tell which of these statements are correct one. First statement is the Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights and democracy. And the statement second is the Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the citizens' liberties and to preserve the ideals on which the Constitution is based. If you see the statement first, it is apparent that if you read Lakshmikant Indian Polity, you might know that the Constitution has never provided basic structure, but it was the Supreme Court's judgments who describes this basic structure of the Constitution. So first statement is not correct, and statement second is about the judicial review. Yes, Constitution has conferred the power of judicial review to the judiciary. So statement second is the right one. So the correct answer is option B. Look at the question number 14. One common agreement between Gandhism and Marxism is option A is the final goal of a stateless society, B is class struggle, C is abolition of private property, and D is economic determinism. If you see option 1, as per Marxism, they talk about classless society, and they further said that there is no need of any such state or repressive institute. So if you see in case of Gandhism, they also talked about the ideal state in which there is no political power required in the state. So they also talk about the stateless society. So option A is the right answer. And if we see option B, C, D, they are only talked in Marxism, not in Gandhism. So option A is the right option. Now look at the question number 15. In the context of India, which one of the following is the characteristic approach for bureaucracy? So if you see bureaucracy, the two main functions of bureaucracy are first is providing policy input to the elected representative, and the second is implementation of the public policy. So if you see options here, first option is an agency of widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. No, there is no role of bureaucracy in widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. B is an agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. No, this is also not the right one. C, an agency for facilitating political stability and economic growth. No. And if you see the third option, fourth option is an agency for implementation of public policy. Yes, this is one of the function of the bureaucracy in India. So option D is the right answer here. Thank you very much guys for watching my video. I would love to see your comments, and I request you to please share it, like and subscribe my channel for more videos like this. So thank you very much for watching my video.